Lee, give me another martini, mate. Yep, still on holiday, bro. It's nice to be on holiday. No more doing live streams for a good while. Wait a minute. Oh, crap! Oh, sugar. This isn't a Snowflake show. It's the Viewpoint. Oh, sugar. This is not meant to be planned. Oh, dear. Lee's left me deserted here. Oh, this is absolutely disgraceful, I tell you guys. Supposed to be on holiday and I'm oh, Christ. Oh, I guess I'll have to switch things up then, won't I? Oh, can't be decking myself in all this, can I? Oh, dear. This is not how my plan was supposed to be. Oh, dear. 1 second, guys. I need to update myself. Oh. Baha! Back to the real world, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to go back to the real world. Oh, thought I was supposed to be on holiday, but I guess not, guys. Hello, everyone. Oh, let me start that all again. I thought I'd be on holiday, but no martinis, I'm afraid. Oh dear, oh dear. Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE, and welcome to another episode of the Snowflakes Viewpoint. Thought I was on holiday. Clearly, I'm not, guys. If you don't get the reference, you have not been watching the Snowflake show. Clearly not, guys. Back to the real world. Hope you guys all had a lovely... I know, bit stupid, I know. Try something a little bit different anyway. I hope you guys had a lovely weekend in all seriousness, guys. I hope you're all well. Nice shirt. Oh, thank you, Tom. It's one of my favourite shirts. I've had this for give me that, God, more than 20 years or something. Like, I've had this shirt for way too long, mate. I hope you guys all had a nice weekend. Serious question. Let me know down in the comments and in the live chat what you guys think of the layout and all that kind of thing. I'm trying to shake things up a little bit when it comes to certain things. As you guys may or may not have known, I did the news round on Friday. There's a bit more of a green kind of vibe to it. I'm not sure about the red, so I wanted to try and see what we guys think of the red. It is clashing a little bit with my shirt, I am going to say that, but I wanted to try something a little bit different, so let me know what you guys think. I could change it to purple. Purple maybe if you guys prefer maybe the colour purple. Can't do yellow because we can't have yellow snowflakes for obvious reasons. But let me know what you guys think of the reddish, pinkish kind of colour, because I'm trying to do a bit of a theme sort of thing to that. But we have a lot to discuss, guys. We've got a lot to cover. And I literally only just got home not too long ago myself. So... just before we go into the first topic of the day, let's see what's going on here. Jao says, good evening, REGANELITE. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jao. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Good evening, Tom. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Ben Shaw says, evening, everybody. Hope you're well as well, Ben. Duke Vengeance with the ... That's not a good sign, clearly. Tom said, hello, nice shirt. Casper's here. Hello, Casper. Hope you're well there. Clashes with your shirt, maybe purple. Yeah, to be fair, it is the shirt. Yeah, but if I was wearing a white shirt, maybe it might be something a bit different. But yeah, always up for purple, says Ben Shaw. Okay, if you guys are not sure about the pinkish, we can definitely go for purple. Time of the month, says Simon, says 55. REGANELITE, as long as you don't start with hello, my name is REGANELITE and I like to talk to you about politics, I am cool. Well, I would never start off with that catchphrase. You know, my catchphrase, I like my catchphrase. So hello, Ginger, it's good to see you. I hope you're well there as well. So just as people come a rocket in. Yeah, yeah, if you guys prefer purple, let me know in the comments section down below. Let's I'm losing my voice there a little bit. Right, let's dive straight into it, guys, because we do have a lot to cover. I am not covering the story about the woman with the baby killer. I'm not going to be covering that, guys. I have a video coming on it that I am going to discuss, but I'm not going to explicitly cover it in case you guys are wondering if you want me to cover it. But there is I am going to be doing a video talking about it, so I'm not going to cover the updated version that's happened today. Don't really want to talk live about it, really. I think you guys already know about that, but there's plenty of other stuff to talk about, guys. I'm going to start with this article from The Guardian here, with the headline that the pressure is mounting on Nadine Dorries as a second council calls for her to quit as an MP. The pressure is piling up on her. Members of Parliament for Mid Bedfordshire said she would resign in June and has yet to do so. Nadine Dorries is under increasing pressure to step down as an MP after a second council in her constituency called for her immediate departure. The former Culture Secretary said she would resign from representing her Mid Bedfordshire constituency with immediate effect in early June, when Boris Johnson stood down as an MP and she failed to secure a peerage. More than 2 months later, Dorries had not tendered her resignation. She continues to draw an MP's salary. Explaining her actions, Dorries said she was waiting for an explanation as to why her nomination for a peerage by Johnson was blocked. Sheffield Town Council has joined Ferrick Town Council in expressing frustration on what they see as a continuing lack of representation. He follows Rishi Sunak's rare attack, labelling Dorries an absentee MP who is not properly representing her constituents. In a letter published on Twitter, now known as X, on Thursday, Sheffield Council raised concerns about her scant interest in the constituency, which has left the town abandoned by their MP. So you can see, you can have a look at the tweet later on if you guys want to see that. But pretty much, yeah, basically telling her to get back to her job, basically. Ken Pollard, the mayor of the council, said, "I've been asking to write to you formally on behalf of the residents of Sheffield to raise the town's concerns and frustrations at the continuing lack of representation of the people of Mid Bedfordshire at Westminster. In your role as the acting member of Parliament of Mid Bedfordshire, residents of Sheffield feel that due to your scant interest in your constituency, your aversion to attending local events or services by your lack of maintained constituency office, your local area has been abandoned by yourself. Your last spoken contribution to the House of Commons was on June 7th, 2022, and your last written question was asked on the 20th December 2017. In addition, your behaviour and actions reported in the press are in direct violation of the 7 Principles of Public Life, also known as the Nolan Principles, published on the 31st of May 1995, which applies to anyone who works as a public office holder and all those who are elected or appointed to public office. The letter added that our residents desperately need your effective representation now, and Sheffield Town Council calls on you to honour your commitments and tender your resignation immediately." I just feel like it's a lot of kicking and screaming and shouting, guys, and I just think like the problem is that no one can technically do anything about it. I'm pretty sure I covered a story from Byline Times on how she basically that nobody can really do anything because of the way that the laws work, which is really, really stupid. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it's something to do with like there's nothing. Like I understand there's several principles of public life and that, but there's nothing enshrined from the electoral. I think it was the electoral commission. They tried to pressure on that, and they basically said that they can't do anything because she's not breaking any of the rules. That's the problem. Like obviously you're supposed to represent, but they can't force her to represent, if you know what I mean. It's a weird kind of thing. The Liberal Democrats Deputy Leader Daisy Cooper said Dorries' actions were a gross insult to the people of Mid Bedfordshire. Why on earth should their taxpayers' money fund an MP who hasn't worked in months? It is disgraceful that she continues to have the Conservative Party whip. Clearly Rishi Sunak thinks Nadine Dorries' actions are still worthy of being a Conservative MP, Cooper says. Downing Street has previously acknowledged that it was unusual that Dorries had not resigned despite saying she would do so. Asked if there was a frustration over the delay, the Prime Minister's press secretary said in June, "It's obviously usual to have an MP say they will resign with immediate effect, and for that not to take place." Dorries continues to host a weekly chat show and Talk TV. She has also written the book The Plot, The Political Assassination of Boris Johnson, slated for publication in September, shortly before the Conservative Party conference. Mid Bedfordshire has been held by Dorries since 2005 and the Conservatives since 1931. That's a long time. Yeah. 2005 she's been there, guys. That's a long time. And it's been Conservative at home since 1931. I don't know about you, but I would think that people of Bedfordshire are kind of be getting frustrated, that is for sure, on that there. Good evening, all shorts. Hope you're well, buddy. Everyone's saying, oh, cheeky, says all shorts. Acting. Yeah, she's not even doing that. Yeah, theatre. Yeah, she's not even trying now. No, that's fine, all shorts. If you can't, that's fine, mate. If you can't cover that, it's fine, mate. I'll update the community post, buddy. No problem. Perhaps yeah, maybe. Jal. Mrs. Dorries looks a little dally. She's MIA, isn't she? That's for sure. Change the rules. There's all sorts. Yep, the rules need to be changed. But will Labour, if they go into power at the next general election, change the rules for the better? That's the question. She's a century late for Danialism, says Tom. Good evening, Sir Larry the Cat. Hope you're well there, buddy. Everyone's saying hello. Chatty Rat, good to see you there, buddy. How's number 10 without Danish Sunaks? Yeah, Sir Larry will let us know shortly. She's getting paid without doing anything. Could we talk about UBI next? I haven't got a story on UBI, I'm afraid, Ben, as much as I want to talk about universal basic income. But I think it's important to highlight that Nadine Dorries is still MIA, and I think it's incredibly frustrating, guys, that she's nowhere to be seen, basically, which is really, really frustrating, that is for sure. This next one's an interesting one, I found. Let me know what you guys think as I read it. So the headline from Sky News here is that I don't think it's. I think it's kind of like they're trying to pull strings here, if I'm honest, because I had read a bit of this. So Sir Keir Starmer says questions about his CPS role during the Andrew Malkinson case should be directed elsewhere. The Labour leader said Mr. Malkinson, who spent 17 years behind bars for a rape he did not commit, had been through an ordeal as he backed a public inquiry. Sir Keir Starmer has said questions about his role has said questions about his role as a director of public prosecution, that's the DPP, during the wrongful conviction of Andrew Malkinson should be directed elsewhere. The Labour leader said Mr. Malkinson, who spent 17 years in prison for a rape he did not commit before having his conviction overturned, had been through a real ordeal, and there should be an inquiry to get to the bottom of that. There had been questions regarding Sir Keir's role as the DPP and head of the Crown's Prosecution Service after it emerged that DNA evidence which exonerated Mr. Malkinson came to light in 2007 and was known to all key agencies, including the CPS, in 2009. Sir Keir was DPP from 2008 to 2013. While Labour said the case had never crossed his desk and that Sir Keir had no personal involvement in it, his role as the head of the CPS has come under scrutiny in light of previous statements he has made. The Labour leader told Sky News in April that he took full responsibility for the decisions of the Crown Prosecution Service when I was Director of Public Prosecution. Oh, okay. Well, you would say that at the time, but just before I go any further, I just want to point out here, what was it? So 2009, yeah. So Keir was head in from 2008. Okay. I'm just thinking, is this really all on Keir? To be fair, guys, I'm not a little bit skeptical. I feel like it's just like desperation meat, you know. Is this really his fault, even though this is not something that he personally covered this case? Asked whether he meant he accepted the role in the miscarriage of justice regarding Mr. Malkinson, Sir Keir replied, I've seen the statement of the Crown Prosecution Service have put out, and so far as I can see, they discharged their obligations by making sure the material in question was given to Mr. Malkinson's lawyers. That's what they should have done, and that's what I understand they did. So I think the question in this case is actually directed elsewhere. Mr. Malkinson, 57, was found guilty of raping a woman in Greater Manchester in 2003. and the next year was jailed for life with a minimum term of 7 years. He remained in jail for another decade because he maintained his innocence. Last month he had his conviction quashed by a court of appeal after DNA evidence that linked another man to the crime was produced by his defensive team. Case files obtained by Mr. Malkinson as he battled to be free and seen by Sky News shows officers and prosecutors' new forensic testing in 2007 had identified a searchable male DNA profile on the rape victim clothing did not match his. Note of the meeting between the Forensic Science Service and the CPS of Greater Manchester Police, GMP, in December 2009, a year to Keir's tenure, suggests that the CPS understood the possibility and importance of the 2007 DNA find. This is a real miscarriage of justice, you know. CPS guidance states that it must write to the body representative for investigating possible miscarriage of justice, the Criminal Case Review Commissions, the CCRS, at the earliest opportunity about any cases which there is any doubt about the safety of the conviction. But the case file showed that both the police and the CPS chose to take no further action, and there was no record of the CPS directly informed the CCRC. The CPS claimed Mr. Malkinson's lawyers were informed directly of the new DNA evidence. The CCRC refused to order further forensic testing or referred the case for an appeal in 2012, with the case file citing fears about costs. Mr. Malkinson's case was described as astonishing by former Solicitor General Lord Edward Garner KC, who said there should be an inquiry into the total public mess that has unfolded following his exoneration. Former Justice Secretary Robert Buckland also told Sky News that some comments from Sir Keir would be welcome. I would have thought it would have been good for Sir Keir as a former senator lawyer to say something about it, and for him to say he will cooperate with any public inquiry, he said. CPS spokesperson said it is clear that Mr. Malkinson was wrongly convicted of his crime and we share deep regret that this happened. Evidence of the new DNA profile found on the victim's clothing in 2007 was not ignored, and it was disclosed to the defensive team representing Mr. Malkinson for their consideration. In addition, searches for the DNA database were conducted to identify any other possible suspects, and at the time no matches and therefore no further investigation could be carried out. In light of the revelations, the CCRC said it will review Mr. Malkinson's case. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. Spokesperson said the Commission would be as open as it can be without statutory constraints about lessons to be learned. How often have we heard about lessons to be learned and lessons were not learned? We recognise that Mr. Malkinson had a very long journey to clear his name, and it was painfully wrong that he spent 17 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. We've already been in touch with Greater Manchester Police and with the Crown's Prosecution Service to offer our assistance in any of these inquiries. The Attorney General and the Home Office declined to comment. Did Sir Keir have a role in this, guys? He was in charge for some time, guys, so he has to take some kind of responsibility, if I'm honest, guys, but I don't think he should take the full blunt of it, that's for sure. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Taxpayers at work, says Jal. Taxpayers work and pay, and Nadine collects, says Jal. Yeah, it was disgraceful. The Tories have managed to replace Scrutineer's cat with a Prime Minister, then Solari the cat, Tom says to Solari. Don't worry, Ben, sure, I tried a field joke and it was not funny me, I blame the heat. Yep, we can blame the heat for a lot of things at the moment, Joe. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Tom says got to claw him out from under there. I don't like Keir much, but next the Tory press will say that his next door neighbour who died in the 1900s was Jack the Ripper, and Starmer knew it. Yeah, they'll say anything can make it, try to make it stick to the wall. That's for sure. It would depend whether the case itself came across his desk or not, which is unlikely, says Duke. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't actually know if it came across his desk. I mean, Labour have denied that it came across his desk. That's the thing. Even if it passes death, do we really believe a CPS director can spend hours and hours on a single case? That's only possible on Law and Knowledge UK, I said, says Tom. Yeah, I just think it's I think it's a bit of a stretch to kind of pull this on to Keir, if I'm honest. Yeah, I am starting to, my head's starting to think that way too, to be fair. When I see such an effort as searching for connections instead of a clear and cut evidence, I grow suspicious, says Jal. Ben Shaw says, not sure if this was down to Starmer. He was helping the US to extradite Hassan previously, though. Can't help them as much now as the leader of the main political party. Yeah. All Short says, should we blame the PM then for the missing money? Yeah. Where's that 37 billion test and trace that went missing, guys? Do you guys remember that? Because I don't remember what happened to that money. Yeah, do you guys remember that? I'm sure it's going to pop up somewhere at some point, guys. Surely it'll pop up at some point. I don't like this one, guys. I've not read much into this one. This is from the BBC News. I know you can't see the full clip here, but it's basically, the headline is, black hole in the town hall budget rises to 5 billion. Budgets, guys, budgets, not just one. A black hole in local authority budgets continues to grow. BBC investigation reveals prompting fears that some will not be able to provide basic services. The average council now faces a 33 million, that's $42 million, predicted deficit by 2025-2026, a rise of 60% from 20 million 2 years ago. Udison said the situation meant some councils would not be able to offer the legal minimum of care next year. The government says decisions on the funding beyond the next financial year have not yet been made. The BBC Shared Data Unit surveyed 190 upper-tier authorities in the UK to find out the extent of the financial difficulties facing town halls, which provide services from adult social care to bin collections and pothole repairs. It revealed that council chiefs expect to be 5.2 billion short of the balance in the books by April 2026, even after making 2.5 billion of planned cuts. Jesus Christ. Why are you cutting? At least 467 million will be stripped from adult care service, which include elderly care homes, respite centres and support services for people with disabilities. And remember, they say we don't have any money, the government. But when the money suits them, they have the money. This is the price that we are paying right now for having 13 years of the same political party. This is just disgusting. This year, councils are closing leisure centres. People need them. Reducing care packages and raising fees for services like waste collection and parking in order to break even. As if people have already got, people don't have the money. User and head of local government Mike Short said town halls were in direst of states. This is not a sustainable situation, he said. Local authorities simply don't have the funds to provide even statutory service. Councillor Sean Davis, who chairs the Local Government Association LGA, said inflation, the introduction of national living wage, energy costs and increased demand for services were adding billions of extra costs just to keep the service standing still. Everyone is horrified. This is campaigners in Gatehedge protest against plans to close the town's leisure centre. They don't have the money, the council. The council don't have the money. What are they supposed to do? The government's not giving them enough money. What are they supposed to do, the council? You can't blame the council. You can't blame them for this. Gateshead Leisure Centre was opened in 1981 by Elizabeth II and featured a pool, a soft play and a gym, as well as badminton and basketball courts. But in November 2022, Gateshead Council recommended closing it, claiming it had no other choice after government cuts. The centre, which has more than 480,000 visitors a year and served an area with high levels of deprivation, closed in July. A community bid is being put together to raise 40,000 and take over the site, but so far it's raised £5,000. Where the hell are they going to find 35,000? They're not going to get 30. They're not going to be able to raise that money. Surely not. Jesus Christ. Mental health worker Leah Barkley, 39, from Bedsham, led the campaign to keep it open. Everyone is just horrified it's actually come to this, she said. It's a lot of anger towards the council. We just feel that they didn't come to the community until it was too late. Why is it your anger should be directed towards the government, not the council? Council don't have the money. You just said this. This is not looking at the bigger picture here. A pool has existed at the Alexander Road since 1941, and Wendy Arkoff, 64, remembers using it in the late 1960s as part of Brownie Swimming Gala. There is just a huge void now, she said. Let me just see what you guys are saying in the chat, because yeah, this is not read that bit. When I see such evidence searching for connections instead of clear and cut evidence, I grow suspicious. As Joe, not sure if this was, he was helping helping the US to extradite Hassan previously, though. Can't help but as much now as the leader of the main political party. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've read that already from Ben. This is why it's unlikely. Why would he spend any time on a single case when you have thousands of underlings to do it for him, says Duke. Yep. Good evening, Mad Monk. Good. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry, buddy. It's all good. I hope you're well. Never mind the billion to bounce back loans Sunak wrote off. Yeah, never mind that as well, Tom. Yeah, good point. When he surely has a lot of important things to do, says Duke. Yep. Good evening, Pagan. Hope you're well, buddy. This will escalate the loss of business rates because of the dying high street. Exactly. Everyone suffers. Everyone is suffering as a result of this. Absolutely, all shorts. You're absolutely right, buddy. Disability is already cut. Yeah, I know. Disability is already cut. I mean, it's just it's horrible. Magic money tree, says Tom. Yeah, the magic money tree that randomly is there for them when it suits them but doesn't suit us, the people. So Larry the Cat says we're skint. We have 1.8 billion to spend on a plague-infested barge or two. Yeah. Councils have been making dodgy investments. I think, yeah, I know about the case. I think it was in Croydon. They gambled on the, I think it was Croydon or one other, basically gambled on a private investor or whatever and made scot-free with a load of money. But when they're so short, and they're that desperate, like, I just feel like they need to, they're trying everything to kind of keep going, you know. They have the freedom to pay around with public money. Yeah, all shorts. Debt 101 of GDP, says all shorts. This Tory government has no money unless it's to give to their friends or family for a private business and providing service to the public from the public purse, says Mad Monk. Yep, that's exactly how they're using it right now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but Labour are worse or something. So you know, says Duke. Yeah, Labour are worse apparently. Even though we haven't had them for 13 years, apparently Labour are worse. There are EU funds for that, says Simon. All right, yeah, the funds that we gave up because we voted to leave the European Union. Right. So running expenses are put on a mortgage for future generations then. Yeah. Offer recommended by GOV, says all shorts in reply to Jow. So Larry the Cat says some Tory councils are already bankrupt and they get allocated more money than Labour councils. Truly Tory physical responsibility. Yeah, they pick and choose councils that benefit them. You know, if you're Conservative, you'll get more money, but if you're any other party, no, we're not going to give you anything more. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Bail out the banks, but not the council, says FY. Exactly. Yeah, they bailed out the banks. Did you know that Iceland didn't bail out the banks in the 2008 financial crash? Do you know what they did? They bailed out the public and let the banks go. Now they're in a much better off position now, aren't they? It's funny. If only we had let the banks go, guys. Good to see you, FY. I hope you're well. How many billions did they give the energy companies? And they're saying they are skint, says Larry the Cat. They are not worse than the Tories, Duke. They are just really, really poor. Devolution of the pound incoming. Yeah, the pound's at some point. The pound's going to get hit at some point. Yeah, at some point. Cameron sent back 150 million to the EU. Yeah. Croydon Council, although Croydon Council is as dodgy as it gets, so it's slow. Yeah, I don't know if it was Croydon, if I recall, but either way, it's still pretty bad. Good evening, Counter Kiev. Hope you're well. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Having a nice weekend as well. Unprecedented savings. Our investigation found top of cuts. Town hall chiefs are expected to use 1.1 billion of reserves to balance the books this year. Bradford Council said the authorities were using reserves at an unprecedented level, while Leicester City Council said it was going to run out during the next financial year. Several councils have called for financial support from the government. Among them are Slough, Croydon, Thurrock, Kensington and Chelsea, and newly created Cumberland and Westmoreland and Forest Council will share around 393 million of government funding this year. Thurrock declared bankruptcy in December 2012 after a series of failed solar farms investment that saw the council run up a £500 million deficit, one of the largest reported of its council of its size. I think this was the story. This was it. Yeah, they offered like massive solar farms or something, and the guy ended up not delivering or something and ended up running away with a ton of the money. It was a really horrible story. I'm pretty sure that was the story. That one. Let me just yeah, 400. Yeah, I'm sure we've covered this story before, guys. I may have covered it in a video, possibly. I have to look, see if I can find it at some point. Slough was also forced to effectively declare bankruptcy after borrowing more than 700 million to buy land and properties. Kensington and Chelsea have been given an agreement in principle to borrow up to 51.8 million to help buy the compensation due to the survivors and first responders to the Grenfell Tower tragedy. In a statement, the council said it had healthy finances and had frozen council tax this year. Meanwhile, other councils have indicated being in financial distress. Birmingham City Council's Europe's largest local authority halted all non-essential spending in June after announcing it was facing a bill of 760 million unequal pay claim. The 51 million of savings being made at Shropshire amount to a fifth of its overall budget this year, the highest proportion of any council in the UK. Spokesperson for the council said that its financial position had been compounded by its rural nature and its sparse population, which had made more expensive to provide services like social care. Councils are funding through a mix of council tax, business rates, income from services like parking and social housing rent, as well as money from the government known as the Revenue Support Grant. That funding declined by nearly a third between 2010 and 2021. Oh really? It declined? What do you know, guys? What a surprise. According to the Public Accounts Committee, which found council's income was 8.4 billion lower in real terms than it had been a decade before. Lower in real terms. This sounds like something similar to certain public sector workers who got real terms pay cut, guys. Sounds really familiar to that. Just can't quite put my finger on it who it was that got real term pay cuts as well. It's almost like the government are taking the mick out of us. Its chair, Meg Hiller, said the BBC study showed councils were at a tipping point where only so many more savings could be made. Ms Hiller, the Labour MP for Hackney, South and Shoreditch, said these findings should have the dashboards flashing red across the board for the government. Despite high-profile failures, many councils have continued to take risk on commercial investments to increase their income. See, this is the thing, when you are in a desperate situation to try and keep afloat, you're going to be making these gambles, and while it's easy to point fingers at the council saying you shouldn't be doing taking these risks, the councils will turn around and say, well, what are we supposed to do? Because we're begging the government for more money, but they're cutting us bone and dry. What are we supposed to do? We need to keep things afloat. So it's a catch-22 for some of these councils. A Freedom of Information request by the BBC found that Somerset Council had bought more than 136 million worth of retail property since the start of the pandemic, including a B&Q in Ayr and a Wickies in Birmingham. Stories about the pressure on the council budgets may not seem new. Local authorities were hitting hard during the period of austerity. The government has made more money available to councils in recent years, but rising prices and the cost of delivering services for which there is growing demand means budgets will remain squeezed. This research shows the future looks bleak for some authorities who have already cut back what they offer local communities. Questions have been raised over investment decisions and some councils have made, but beyond there is a wider call for a rethink for the way local government is funded to try and break what seems to be a cycle of pressure on the services which so many people rely on. That council was a Tory council that did dodgy investment, REGANELITE, says Larry the Cat. That's right, it was a Conservative council and then they lost it to the Lib Dems, if I'm right, so Larry, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Lib Dems took over in the local elections, and then they ended up having to declare bankruptcy, and they tried, and then obviously the government tried to say it's poor handling from the Lib Dems when they said no, it was your party were running this council. If I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was a Lib Dem one. At least they didn't take out a payday for a loan at 5,000% APR, says Tom. Yeah, funny that. Counter Keith says, how's the cladding remuneration going in the UK? Any leaseholders, tenants, grants? Probably not. No, I don't think so. Kensington and Chelsea have heavy finances, says Ben Shaw. Well, it doesn't look like it here, does it? Tories don't get tasered. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Casper, in Northern Ireland we have single transferable votes for councils and assembly elections. I used to work in Slough. It's about as nice as it sounds, says Tom. Oh, that's good to know. They're always talking crap in Parliament about how bad other councils are being run, says Duke. Yeah, they do tend to run councils down, don't they? This is why most of the EU multi-municipals need permission before advancing with expenses or investments. They also need to justify every cent, says Joe. Yep, balance the books. I get the odd bargain from Iceland warehouses, Counter Keith. Yeah, there are some nice bargains in Iceland, that's for sure. We need PR for local voting too. Another cut to the Tory base power, says one angry pagan. Absolutely. Hope Scotland leaves before the whole boat sinks, says Simon says. I'm sure Scotland will find their way out at some point. Iceland put them in jail. Yeah, rightfully so. Yeah, good on. They rightfully did. FY, they did. They threw the bankers responsible in jail. Yeah, I thought. Saw an article ages ago about the councils losing money because of outsourcing. The councils that was mentioned had taken all the contracts back because it costs a lot more than predicted, says Casper. It's not good. No, it's not good. This is why some things need to be centralised. This way of doing budgets is an invite to disaster. Central government needs to be responsible. Devolution or centralised? It's a tough thing to do, really, to be fair. It's a tough one to predict, to be honest, guys. Right, let's finish reading this off, guys, and we'll cut to something a bit more relaxing. Neil Crouch from Harlow in Essex has motor conversion disorder, severe arthritis, and suffers from kidney failure. Essex County Council, which is set to save $36 billion a year, then cut the 48 hours of weekly funded social care he received down to 42 and removed his eligibility for respite care. Previously, he was allowed 2 funding weeks a year at the centre that provides holidays for people with disabilities. It's such a shame, says Neil, who's becoming increasingly immobile and relies on carers and his elderly parents for support. It helps so much to have respite care. My mum and dad are both in their mid-70s now, and it's getting hard for them. It's not an easy process to look after somebody with a disability. Neil, who said like many others like him are suffering now having their respite eligibility removed, is urging councils to rethink such costs. They have holidays, he said. Because we are disabled does not mean we are not entitled. Essex County Council said while it does not comment on individual cases, it still offers significant support for people in respite care in the area. Currently, councils discover how much money they're going to receive from the government 1 year at a time. That's not... That needs to change. 1 year at a time? Sorry, that's not good enough. Should be at least, in my opinion, 3 months. Every 3 months at least. Like, come on, they need to know what they need to be able to count their numbers. The LGA has repeatedly called on the government to change the way local authorities are funded. Absolutely. It has said multi-year settlements will give councils more clarity to plan effectively. A plan to allow councils to retain 75% of the business rates they collect instead of the current 50% was paused indefinitely in 2021. That doesn't help either. Councillor Tim Oliver, who chairs the County Council's Newark, says we must remember while inflation is beginning to reduce, these costs councils have incurred just won't disappear from our budgets overnight. They are now embedded into the future. The Department of Levelling Up Housing and Community spokesperson said that as of no decision on council funding levels will be taken until the spending review next year, as the predict deficit figures for 2025-2026 were unsupported. He said that the government has pledged to make $4.7 billion available for the adult social care system in England in 2024-2025 and confirmed there will be an increase in revenue support grants council receives. The Scottish and Welsh government said they had increased resources for councils this financial year. Government in Northern Ireland declined to comment. Predicted savings and deficits are local authorities. So you could scroll. Interesting. So we could look up councils if we wanted to here, guys. Obviously, I'm not going to read every single one, but we'll have a quick nose. Predicted deficit. Croydon. We spoke about Croydon, didn't we? Net revenue budget 340 million. Predicted deficit 5.1 million. Planned savings of 36.1 million. Net saving percentage of net budget 10.6%. Savings per person 92.4%. Croydon there. This is an interesting graph to look at, that's for sure. This is source data from the 185 of 218 UK upper tier authorities 2023-2024 budget. Missing figures mean the council does not provide or confirm details. Okay. Right, guys, we're going to, considering the time, I'm going to probably end up going over the stream. Let me come back to this one. I have got somebody. Where is my? Let me know what you guys think of the background. By the way, would you guys prefer purple? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm trying a different colour. I know it doesn't clash well with the shirt. I've heard that already. I was trying something stupid at the start of the stream, but we're going to listen to some nutter from Portsmouth, guys. Let's hear what this crazy guy from Portsmouth has got to say to us.
Colin from Portsmouth is on the line. Hello, Colin.
Why hasn't this country got to grips with shredding those bleeding EU laws?
Well, I thought Jacob Rees-Mogg was in charge of doing exactly that, Colin.
Jacob Rees-Mogg is busy telling other people to go to work. Do you really expect him to do his job on top of that?
Well, do you know what we need, Colin? We need a small stationery cupboard in Whitehall with a massive shredder made in Germany, shredding
deleting the rules the Germans imposed on us. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Which EU law do you want to see gone first, Colin?
Oh, mate, where do I start?
We'll just start with one of them. Any of them.
Their
Literally name a
ridiculous
law.
rule not allowing people to work more than 168 hours in a week.
Well, I thought Jacob Rees-Mogg would have been on top of that one.
Food labels warning you the food's been poisoned. Pointless. Temporary workers having the same rights as permanent workers. Are you mad? Tobacco adverts during children's shows. 17-year-olds aren't allowed to drive 7.5-ton trucks. You can't pump cows full of silicon so they have massive tits anymore.
Well,
There's
no,
a restriction on pumping sewage into our rivers. That's nanny state gone mad. Why can't Tippy serve battered jellyfish? The EU, that's why. They've banned Henry Hoovers from having real eyes. Making companies reduce CO2 emissions. Why? Child chimney sweeps, bring them back. They force mothers to have a glass of water after giving birth. Monkey jockeys on greyhounds have been banned. Airlines have to compensate consumers for delayed and cancelled flights. And get this, credit institutions and investment firms are supervised to stop 2008 happening again. Shred the lot of it.
You want the moon on a stick, Colin?
And you know what's stopping us from getting that moon and putting it on a stick?
What's
that? The European Space Agency. Get it in the bin. Anyway, Anthony, thanks for having me on. I've had a lovely time. Love to the family.
Love to the family, Colin. Colin from...
Ah, Colin. Do we love you, buddy? We love you, buddy. Okay, let's move on. Where is this? Make sure I got this switched to the right one there. Okay, guys, we're going to America with this next story here. This is I don't know too much about it, but I saw this and I thought this might be worth. This is an interesting one. So obviously we know about some of the Roe v. Wade things going over in America. A judge has blocked Georgia's ban on hormone replacement therapy for transgender minors. A federal judge has blocked the state of Georgia from enforcing part of a new law that bans doctors from starting hormone therapy for transgender people under the age of 18. It's a ruling issued Sunday. U.S. District Court Judge Sarah Gretling granted a preliminary injunction sought by several transgender children, parents and a community organisation in a lawsuit challenging the ban. The immediate risk of replacing harm to plaintiffs following from the ban, including risk of depression, anxiety, disordering eating, self-harm and suicidal ideation, outweigh any harm the state will experience from the injunction, the judge wrote. Gregory said her ruling will block enforcement on the ban of hormone replacement therapy until a further court order or a trial. We are disappointed in the judge's decision to plan an immediate appeal to protect the health and well-being of Georgia's children, says Kara Richardson, a spokeswoman for the Georgia Attorney General Chris Charr. The Georgia law, Senate Bill 140, allows doctors to prescribe publicly blocking medication. It also allows minors who are receiving hormone therapy to continue, who are already receiving it to continue. But it bans any new patients from under 18 starting hormone therapy. It also bans most gender-affiliated surgeries for transgender people under 18 that took effect on July the 1st. Gregory's ruling was an incredible victory for Georgia families, attorneys for the plaintiffs in a statement. The American Civil Libraries Union of Georgia, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Human Rights Campaign Foundation, and the law firm O'Malley and Mars are representing the plaintiffs. This law unapologetically targets transgender minors and denies them essential health care, they said. The ruling restores parents' right to make a medical decision that is in their child's best interest, including hormone therapy for their transgender children, who, when needed for them to thrive and be healthy. At least 22 states have now enacted laws restricting or banning gender-affirmative medical care for transgender minors, and most of these states face lawsuits. A federal judge struck down Akada's ban as unconstitutional, and federal judges have temporarily blocked bans in Alabama and India as well. The plaintiffs in the Georgia lawsuit did not ask to immediately block the surgery ban, which remains in effect. Doctors typically guide kids towards therapy and voice coaching long before medical intervention. At this point, puberty blockers and other hormone treatments are far more common than surgery. They have been made available in the US for more than a decade and are standard treatments backed by major doctors' organizations, including the American Medical Association. During the 2 days of hearing earlier this month, Gregory heard conflicting testimonies about the safety and benefits of hormone therapy to treat adolescents with gender dysphoria, the distress felt people when gender's expression did not match with their gender identity. Experts for the family said the benefits of gender affirmative care and adolescence are well established and profound. State governments experts raise concerns about the risk of hormone treatment and the quality of studies establishing its effectiveness. In the ruling, Greco said its witness for state health officials set a very high bar for evidence of hormone therapy benefit and a low bar for evidence of its risk. She noted that experts agree that prolonged use of puberty blockers was harmful to a person's health and inadvisable. For the transgender children in the suit, time is of the essence, she wrote, and SB 140 could cause them to suffer heightened gender dysphoria and unwanted irreversible puberty. This is a tough one. You know, when I talked about transgender a while ago, kids need. I understand the part about the risks. The risks of the health and safety risk, but I think that it shouldn't be blocked from the kids. It should be down to the parents. I think the parents should be allowed to make that decision, and with the child under 18, I don't think it should be under 18. Like, but between 16 and 18, I think. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat if you think I'm wrong, but I think that their mind is that they know well enough whether or not they think they're a boy or a girl or non-binary, or what their sexual position, how they truly feel by that age, guys. And if the parents, and obviously I know the case that some parents are don't approve or hate it. I know that, but there are parents obviously who are very supportive of their children, guys. So just to put aside the bad parents, let's just put it from the perspective of parents who are very supportive of their children wanting to choose to change their sex. This is not. It's not for. It should not be down to. Is it right? It should be down to laws and states to decide whether or not a child should be allowed to ban on hormone replacement therapy. I think it's a difficult one, that's for sure. What are you guys saying in the chat? Hello, Leeds. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Did Regan use a magic cake? What are you talking about, All Shorts? I have no idea what you're talking about. Quick wardrobe change, I see, says Mad Monk. I don't know what you're talking about. In my live stream, I changed my hat 4 times and nobody noticed, says All Shorts. Did you? Henry Hoover with reverse eyes, the next model, says Count the Keeve. What's happening in the US? Yeah. Everyone. All Shorts says Regan got undressed. What are you talking about? I've been wearing this shirt all stream. I don't know what you're talking about. Which helped me understand what's going quite well. Well, in Portugal, you have to be over 18 to do it, unless there is medical justification for it. My knowledge is very limited on it, Joe, to be fair. All hail the orb, all hail the orb. I haven't got the orb out, unfortunately, guys. Maybe the next funny clip I might try and get it set up for you guys. I can, as a secondary teacher, confirm that puberty is normally irreversible. However, this is one for GPs and psychologists, not politicians. That I agree, 100% agree. It should not be down to politicians or judges, and that it should be down to experts to make that decision. That I 100% agree with. This use of medication is a little too much to me. Americans use too many Yeah, Joe, I agree with that. How yeah, parents can okay it for their kids can go 2p war, says Larry the Cat. I'm a bit uneasy for a child under 12 to have transgender procedure, or maybe older, but post arguments is when puberty starts. Also, I don't know enough about it. Yeah, Keith, I'm with you there. I'm very sceptical about that's very, very young for a child to have that kind of conversation. That's a very difficult situation for any parents. But I think it is definitely something to be concerned about. If you hear noise in the background, I do apologise. This is more of a liberal versus libertation than left versus right, says Duke. There's much more confusion in a person's mind during puberty. No one should mess with it. After the person is 18, free to do whatever they want. It's a medical procedure in the NHS here. Yeah, it says Jao. Jao is from Portugal, for those who don't know. It's one that's not going to... the debate about it's not going to go away in America, that's for sure, unfortunately. We are going way too... Make sure I go to the right one here. I'm just going to bring up... I just wanted to bring this up a little bit here, guys. So, this from Al Jazeera. This one was kind of a bit interesting. So, the first Republican presidential debate is nearly here, but why so early? The Republican debate comes during the so-called invisible primary, when candidates show up support ahead of state votes. On Wednesday, Republicans are set to hold their first debate of the 2024 presidential race. Kicking off the contest will determine who will be the party's candidate to take on US President Joe Biden. Who could it possibly be, guys, that can take down Joe Biden? But the debate comes a full 15 months before voters go to the polls in November 2024, and the Republican Party's first official primary event in Iowa caucus is 5 months away. Its main like this may seem like a lot of runaway until the actual vote, but early campaigning is not unusual in the US. In fact, the 2024 campaign season got off to a somewhat slow start, with many Republican hopefuls hesitant to challenge former President Donald Trump and conservative heavyweight with a strong following. This year has really taken a little while to gel, says Robert Boatwright, a professor of political science at Clark University in Massachusetts. Nevertheless, Wednesday's debate underscores the outline significance of the pre-primary season, which can make or break electoral fortunes, according to Boatwright. With a debate at this point in the game, candidates are not really campaigning for votes, they're just campaigning to gain the perception that they are a candidate of consequence, Boatwright says. It is important for the candidates to show to the media, the Republican donors and other elites that they have what it takes to be one of the last 3 or 4 candidates standing. At the moment, the only person who I think may have any kind of chance is Ron DeSantis, but I don't even know the names of the other candidates. That's how bad it is. Do they have actually names of them? I'm just scrolling down, guys. I'm not going to read the full thing, but I just want to know. We don't need to know how it works. I just want to know the candidates. So it's not even going to tell me who the candidates are. Jesus. That's not good. Well, I just have to have a look on the picture there. So it looks like... oh yes, Mike Pence. Mike Pence is running, isn't he? As well. You remember that guy when they said to hang Mike Pence? Do you remember that, John? Yeah, Ron DeSantis is on there. A couple other candidates there. Yeah, I don't really hold much. Yeah, notice that there's only one woman on there. There's three, four. There's four black people at least, 4 or 5 black people. So there's quite a few others on there as well. But it'll be interesting to keep an eye out, that's for sure, on Wednesday. That is for sure. With the I don't even know. Is Trump surely he's going to be on there. Surely he'll be on there. You would think so anyway. But yeah, it's literally like we're still well away from it. But as it says here, it starts pretty early on there, to be fair, guys. Do you guys think there's any chance for any of the candidates to douse Trump, given what's happening over there, guys? I mean, is there really going to be anything? Because I really don't have much hope, to be fair, guys. I really don't. I'd like to think someone else would take over, to be fair. But we are still got more to cover, you know. Right, so I've got a very important no, not very important. Right, so I've got 2 more stories to go. I know we're coming up to the time, but just going to drop this little funny one here for you guys to watch, so I hope you enjoy.
Before granting you entry into Australia, you must first answer these simple questions.
Okay. Yep.
What is the official language of the state of Australia?
Foul language.
Correct. What months are Australia's summer months?
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Correct. When Australians say they are watching the footy, what are they doing?
Drinking.
Yeah. What is Australia's most popular wine?
That they're constantly confused with New Zealanders.
Correct. Who are Australia's most well-known hard rock artists?
The Aboriginal people.
Correct. What endangered species can be found on Bondi Beach?
Sunburned Irish people.
Yeah. Which queen still represents Australia?
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
She does. What are the Australian soccer team more commonly known as?
Shite.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Mad Max Fury Road?
Yes.
That's a correct answer. Australia fundamentally disagrees with the international community on which important issue?
Vegemite.
Correct. Which recurring event wreaks havoc and devastation throughout Australia each and every year?
Australia Day.
Correct. What is Australia's biggest import?
Backpackers.
What is Australia's biggest export?
Backpackers who overstayed their visa.
Congratulations, boys, you passed the test!
Yes!
Unfortunately, you're still being deported.
What? No, why?
Yeah. We found a whole bunch of sausages in your bag.
Doomda!
Hope you...
Doomda. Oh dear, I know. So embarrassing. How can they get caught with sausages, guys? I mean, come on. Like, what is wrong with these people? Ah, dear. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This little odd story I found from Facebook. I wanted to share with you before we look at a positive news to end the night, guys. This is it's a very, very short story, but I just wanted to put this little quirky story out there. So, Go North East passengers left on the bus as the driver quits. A bus driver appeared to quit his job while at the wheel, leaving passengers stuck inside the double-decker. Travellers of the Angel 21 service between Durham and Newcastle said they were left to work out how to exit the abandoned vehicle on Wednesday night. Bus company Go North East said it would investigate why its customers were left stranded near the Angel of the North. We clearly can't condemn the actions of the driver, a spokesperson said. The driver pulled up to a stop beside the Gateshead landmark, got off the bus and closed the doors behind him, according to passengers. One said those left on board did not know what was going on before realising the driver was not coming back. The helpless passengers then had to work out how to get off the bus, pressing a combination of buttons before flagging down another service. Go North East, which describes itself as the biggest bus operator in the region, confirmed to the BBC that the incident did take place. It vowed to ensure the issue is investigated and dealt with according to the internal procedures. It added, "We can only apologise to any customers who were inconvenienced by this event." I don't know, guys. I don't know. Clearly, the man had enough and just left them there. You explain to me in the comment section, guys, what happened there, because I don't know. Yeah, pretty sucks for them. Next. Well, I got this nice, interesting one here from Positive Outlook. So, man constructs windmill tiny home by hand from the ground up using recycling materials. Building a whimsical tiny home from scratch is a magical and fulfilling journey. It allows you to craft a space that embodies you with your unique vision, personality and aspirations starting from the foundation. While the process may involve challenges and require hard work, the result is a testament to your determination, creativity and the enchanting experience of bringing your imagination to life in a tangible form. The satisfaction of witnessing your dream take shape before your eyes is unparalleled and makes the entire endeavour a gratifying and meaningful achievement. This is how Cass and Elmer build their whimsical tiny home. About 3 years ago, they decided to create their dream home from home, and they wanted something unique and artistic, so they handcrafted most of it, using reclaimed materials that add the special touch. Cass is actively involved in the family business, Incolor Recyclers and Use Age Store, which holds a crucial mission to make significant impact in reducing the amount of recyclables that end up in landfills every day, according to Home Hacks. The building process was challenging and took them longer than expected, but the joy of creating something extraordinary kept them going. Ooh, interesting. Go away, you. About 90% of the tiny homes was built by hand, showcasing Cass's dedication and creativity. The remaining 10% was carefully chosen reclaimed items, making the project affordable and sustainless. Cass's constructed its chalice using recycled steel and made from wall frames from reclaimed aluminium box tubes. He also found many rejected materials from mills, which helped keep the cost down. The entire project cost about £40,000, which is quite reasonable for a custom-built tiny house. 40,000. Wow. However, the amount of labour that went into it and the hard work is hard to put a price on. The process involves countless hours of hard work, dedication and creativity. Here's the twist. When Cass and Emma started dating, the tiny house was already a work in progress. Emma was amazed to see the transformation and supported Cass's artistic vision, and even during the crazy moments she understood his passion for creating a home with a wow factor. The exterior of the tiny house is quite different from most homes. One distinctive feature is a uniquely roofline. They built that home under $40,000, guys. That's pretty damn cool. Wow. Cass intentionally broke up the roof to maximise its ceiling heights to lofts. To achieve this, he hand-built the chalice using recycled steel, and the elevated centre provided an extra 8 inches of ceiling height in the lofts. The front of the house features 2 decks constructed from thin steel and aluminium and is cleverly hinged. These decks can be lifted by a single person and locked into place using latches, eliminating the need to remove them during transport. Wow. I love this. This is so cool. Have you guys ever seen Grand Designs? Sometimes their show can come across with some beautiful looking houses. The tiny house is about 37 feet long and 8 foot wide for the floor. However, the eaves extends a foot on either side, making it 10 feet wide, requiring an oversized load permit, but not requiring pilot cars for transport. With the floor space inside including two lofts, the house has around 500 square feet of living area with additional space that folds up in front and back, providing even more usable space. There is also a cleverly designed mudroom, allowing Cass to have a space to leave his dirty work boots and pants since he works outside. I do love this fancy wood on the back there. That is very nice and sweet. He also built a 3-foot desk with an additional pro, creating a sideable dry area for getting undressed comfortably. These railings in this area all hand forged, adding a touch of artistry to the space. One of Cass's favourite torches in the mudroom is the unique door handle. He said that he loves collecting novelties during his travels, and the door handle comes with an antique shop in Egypt. Okay. It's a fascinating piece, with a hand holding what looked like a crystal ball. These little fairs of creativity make this whimsical tiny home truly special. The interior was just as impressive, with a living room boasting a circular hobbit door. Oh, look at that interior, guys. That is pretty... Wow. You wouldn't think, yeah, it was so... You wouldn't think of that from the outside. It was that. I have a shack, says All Shorts. Yes, you do. You do have a shack. When the couple started building the house, they wanted easy access to versatile features so they could rearrange the adjusted effortlessly, so they decided to take on a challenge of constructing a unique hobbit door. The door was crafted from a box of tube steels and insulated with a plain fir exterior and birch plywood. All of the door latches were immediately machined, handcrafted, including the skeleton key hardware for the locks. We wanted the entertainment area to have a distinct personality, so instead of generic furniture, we added some cool 17 pieces, Cass shared. The TV is mounted on a swivel to offer flexible viewing angles, and you can pivot it to watch from the kitchen while cooking or enjoy it from the living room, the design viewing point. That's pretty damn cool. He also has a small shelf for DVD players from reclaimed wormwood that from a friend generously donated. In terms of heating, the whimsical tiny home has a heat pump and its primary heat source, but there is also a small auxiliary heater to ensure a comfortable and stable temperature throughout the entire house. The tiny house boasts 3 entrances and 3 fold-out decks, ensuring convenience and accessibility from different angles. The purposeful seating is a cosy, relaxing spot and features functional storages with a full-size pull-out drawer and additional space for essentials. Some light in the house was salvaged from an old naval ship, adding a unique touch to the interior. That's cool. I like this kind of stuff. It's definitely different. Meanwhile, ladders used to access the loft as an artistic element from reclaimed materials, reflecting from the designer, making every part of the home special. Ooh, that's certainly different. That is for sure. Yeah, you got the space up there as well. Oh, that's interesting from that point of view there. So you can see a lot wider. I mean, it's not. It doesn't feel like too tight, if you know what I mean, when you look at something like looking at it from there. Where is this? It houses shower, toilets, wash machine, and sinks. Obviously, a shower. Where? The sink has a fascinating story. It's recycled. The sink has a fascinating story. It found it at a recycling store for $50, and they customized it with hand-soldered fascias. This is interesting. And it's up there on the roof. Oh wow. Interesting, that's for sure. They're very compact. Look, oh, that's a shower. Oh, Okay. No curtain. No curtain at all yet for it, guys. Very interesting. Wow. Oh, that's nice. Open up the double doors there. You're out in the middle of nowhere. And there's a video there as well. But the link is in the description, guys, if you want to have a look at it yourself. But I thought that was pretty damn cool house. Just before we wrap things up, let me just have a quick look in the chat. I'm sure you guys have been talking for quite a bit. Let me just scroll up a little bit more. I think I'm missing quite a bit there. I read that bit. This is more liberal. We read that bit. Trumpsy will not be going off to do his Thacker Carlson show, says Larry the Cat. Preaching to the choir, he is. He says, "Pressing suckers more than like that." So Larry to Tom. DeSantis is only at 18%, says Gingers. Yeah, he really has dropped off a cliff, yeah, hasn't he? He really has. Like, he really like when he first announced it. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Gingers, but I thought he was like, he looked like a really like strong candidate, but it kind of seems like he's flopped, hasn't he? The only question is everyone's mind is, what is Trump still doing in the political arena? Yeah, that is, he's not going away. That's the problem. The man with the pet fly, Pence, says Larry. Mike Pence and his sidekick, the Fly. Yes, the Fly. Next, he would have grown a beard and a Wally. Are you guys talking about me? I hope not. Really, I'm joking, by the way. Really not surprised at this point. I half expected more to happen than this, but a bus stop of a different kind, says Tom. See ya, I'm off down the pub, says the driver. Says the Larry the Cat. There is an entire movement of the tiny house in Europe, and in the US it's spreading, says Jow. Yeah, well, if it works, if it's cost effective and all that, why not? How did he build his windmill if the Tories banned offshore wind tides? Said Can I Keep. I don't think this positive story was. This is not in the UK. A Japanese guy drives around in vans and turns into mobile houses, says Jow. Oh, wow. I recommend the book Shelter. I definitely send me a link on Discord, all shorts. I'll have a look at that. Neat idea though. Tiny homes end up in the back of normal sized houses after a couple of years anyway. Says funny. I don't. Well, some people do. Some people don't. It varies, doesn't it? To be fair. Seen an old Lanyard bus converted into a house, says Tom. I've seen a few buses converted into homes. Some of them have been pretty cool. They do look pretty cool, to be fair. Oh yeah, well, I can build a dirt hut in Minecraft with 3 or 4 space by 2 by 3 blocks, says Duke Vengeance. Yes, you can do that in Minecraft. You can definitely do that. Also says, how would you get planning? That's a good question. Planning is different in every country, isn't it, to be fair? I'm pretty sure this is either America or Australia, something like that. Interested in vertical and horizontal wind turbines and research with them, wave power systems, etc. We are Windy Island. Am I missing something, says Counter Kiev. If you're interested in this stuff, folks, just search on YouTube for tiny houses. There is a lot of videos about it and some longer documentaries, says Jow. QE, former flatmate of mine, converted an old shipping container to a B&B. That's cool. I like that, Tom. That's cool. I think George Clark did a good series of tiny spaces. You should be on Channel 4 app, says Casper. Give me a large hobbit hole with a Dartmoor and I'd be set, says One Angry Pagan. DeSantis just keeps messing up, says Gingers. Want a link to the Japanese guy? Yeah, just drop it here in the chat, mate. Drop it in the chat. Right, so yeah, just drop it in the chat. I'm going to take this off because I know you guys are interested in wrestling, but I just thought I'd put that up there. So I have one more video for you guys before we wrap things up, and it's and I want to make sure I get the right cam on before we do that. But guys, thank you guys very much for watching. Just so you guys know, I literally had less than an hour to prepare, simply because of how late I finished work. So I will update the the post, because All Shorts is not going to be able to live stream on Wednesday night. As in case any of you are wondering, no, I am not going to live stream and cover the Snowflakes show, simply because I will be too tired to do so. I have a lot of my own stuff to deal with. As you guys know, I'm not working where I'm normally working, and today was the first day I was working there. And believe it or not, I have to get up at 6 a.m. the next day as well. So I will be in the after chat after the show, but I don't know for how long, to be fair, guys. Absolutely insane. As of right now, for this recording, we are at over 280 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. And I just want to say again, guys, massive thank you to everyone who has liked, commented, and shared, and helped build the channel here. Because without you guys, this channel was nothing. And I really do appreciate everybody's support. I really do. Thank you guys so much for that. If you can, before you go, hit the like button. Yeah, really greatly appreciated. And share this across social media platforms if you can. And if you hit the bell notification icon, you'll be notified of when we go live. I know Jal said that it wasn't working, the bell notification icon, for some reason. And guys, let me know what you think of the colour, whether it's in the live chat or just comment after the show if you're not watching it live. Let me know what you think of the colour, because I am trying something different, trying to mix it up a little bit. I don't mind switching it. I'm not going to go with yellow because we don't want yellow snowflakes for obvious reasons. But I don't mind trying purple, maybe something a bit more, maybe that, if it's a bit too bright. I'm just trying something a bit different, is what I'm doing really, guys. So let me know what you guys think in that regard. So yeah, if you guys want to join me on the Discord server, please feel free to do so. I'll put a link in if Jal doesn't get one in before me. Thank you and Mad Monk for moderating as always, even though there's not many people to moderate, but I really do appreciate it. But I've still got a couple more videos to do for the rest of the week, but there is content dropping tomorrow and Wednesday, but it is reduced content for this week. And I'm working on 1 or 2 other surprises as well, coming up as well for the channel, which I haven't yet revealed, but I am working on that as well. So guys, thank you very much, and we're going to leave you with Nadine Dorries caught interviewing her constituents. I have not seen this, guys, so I hope you guys enjoy this, and take care of yourself and have a wonderful week.
Me, Nadine Dorries, and I'm here in Mid-Bedfordshire to find out what my constituents think about me. So let's go. It's all about me. Let's find out. I've got a couple of questions for you. Do you think I do a good job as MP?
No.
Funny, she's a joker. So do you think I'm doing a good job as MP of Mid-Bedfordshire?
Not really.
What do you think about me as MP of Mid-Bedfordshire?
Disappointing.
Do you think I do a good job as MP of Mid-Bedfordshire?
You're who?
Do you think I'm doing a good job as MP of Mid-Bedfordshire?
Sure you are.
Wow, thank you. Can you tell me why I'm doing such a good job?
Well, because you're out meeting the public, talking to everybody.
Thank you. That's exactly what I do. I'm always reaching out. Why don't you think I'm good at it?
Well, we never see you. Considering you're supposed to be our MP for Central Bedfordshire, we never see you. We never really hear anything from you.
Just been in?
No, but I have been busy.
Lack of productivity, lack of representation.
Wow, really?
As far as our local MP goes, we don't often see her.
That's funny.
I don't think I've seen her in Parliament for 6 months, is it, at least? It may even be longer, but I think she has ambitions to go further, or maybe higher.
Higher, I like that.
In the last 3 years, or might it be a year, you'd voted twice in Parliament, which is a bit disgusting, really.
What do you think I could do better in the town?
Represent the people.
Represent the people? Oh my goodness. What do you think I could do better then as a job, like as MP?
Well, I think you could communicate better with the local community.
What do you think I could do better then? How do I improve that?
Well, you've already made your decision in that you're going, haven't you? So.
Well, I haven't gone quite yet because I've been really busy. Do you know about what I've been up to?
Absolutely no idea or interest, really.
I've been on Talk TV. You should check it out. I've got my own programme.
Still no interest.
Oh, well. Do you watch me on Talk TV?
No.
It's funny. Basically, I have been very busy. You probably haven't seen me because you haven't been watching my TV programme.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So have you done very much as far as, Member of Parliament for us?
Well, obviously, I'm resigning, so I'm taking it easy because I've been working really, really hard on my new book as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And what do you think you'll be doing when do you think you will resign?
Well, when the time is right. I obviously need to make sure that my constituents get what they need and I get my honour. Have you read any of my books?
No.
Wow, wow, gosh, you're really full on, aren't you? So here's a question for you.
It's not about you.
It's not about
That's
me.
the whole point. It's not about you.
It's definitely about me. Do you think I deserve to be honoured?
No.
Do you think I deserve my honours?
No, definitely not. Sort of, and neither does Boris need anything either.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're being so rude about Boris. Oh my goodness. What? Do you like me? Do you think I do a really good job here in Mid-Bedfordshire?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, why, thank you. Do you think I deserve to have an honour?
We gave you the honour and it was taken away, and you should have had it.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. You've heard it here first. I should be honoured. Thank you. And final question, snog, marry, avoid. Boris Johnson, me or Liz Truss?
You.
What, all of them? Thank you so much. Bye. Do you like to snog Boris, marry Boris, or avoid Boris?
None of them, thank you.
Good, because Boris is mine. Thank you.
He's not my type anyway.
Oh, he's mine.
I think it'd have to be Liz Truss.
What, would you snog her, avoid her, marry her?
Avoid her.
And would you marry me, snog me, or...?
Avoid you. Oh, I can't say avoid again, can I?
Oh my gosh, you're funny, aren't you?
Why haven't you left yet? Because you said you were going to resign.
Well, obviously, I need to make sure you're well looked after.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's okay, you're welcome.
I know you like to think you're helping everybody, but I don't really think you are.
Wow, Ray, you're very funny. We'll cut that bit from the final edit. Bye, Ray, bye. Well, I think that's it. You've heard it here first. I've been out doing my job in the constituency of Mid-Bedfordshire. I think it's time for a wine or a 500. Let's go. Seriously, let's go for a wine now.
Good night, everyone.